Welcome again, one and all. We shall proceed with the next session with our next speaker, uh, Dr. V.R. Manoj. He is our next speaker, and he has earned his Ph.D. from Anna University at Center for Environmental Studies for his work on environmental biotechnology in the year of 2010. And he has worked on several R&D sectors as a senior executive officer for over a year before entering his academics in 2012. He has been a founding member of the Indian chapter of Humanity, formerly which was the World Transhumanist Association. Sir has got several awards and fellowships, such as Fellow of the Academy of Sciences in Chennai, and also among the All India Microbiologists Association. His specific research interests include bioenergy, precision agricultural technologies, that includes hydroponics, aquaponics, environmental biotechnology, wastewater treatment, microbiology, biotechnology, and environmental biotechnology. So, with this brief introduction, I welcome you, sir. Over to you, sir. Kindly deliver your talk. Thank you, sir, for joining with us.
Madam, am I audible?
Yes, yes.
We'll do a quick video check. Video is working, madam?
Yes, yes.
Just switch on my stuff. Yes. So now it should be more clear. Audio is also clear, madam. Video is clear. Now let me try loading my presentation.
Sure, sir.
Give me a second. Okay, I'm going to switch over to the screen now, ma'am. If there is any problem, please let me know.
Sure, sure, sir.
I will load my PPT. So is the PPT visible now?
No, sir, not yet.
Okay.
Yeah, sir, you can maximize it.
Yes, madam.
Choose the slideshow.
I'm just going to go to slideshow mode. From then on, I'm going to be completely blind and at your mercy. So if anything is there, please let me know.
Yes, yes, please, sir.
Okay. I'm waiting for the slide to go into slideshow mode. Okay, has it been maximized now?
Yes, yes, sir. Completely fine. You can carry on. Please proceed, sir. Thank you.
So good day to all of you. Welcome and thank you very much for this kind invitation to speak on your esteemed organization. And myself, I am Manoj, and I'm going to speak to you about artificial intelligence and biology, a different perspective. I come to you from Tech Rangarajan Dr. Shakuntala R&D Institute of Science and Technology, Chennai. And I am currently working as the head of the department, and I'm an associate professor there in the Department of Biotechnology. And this picture that you see in front of you as the title picture is a AI generated image. So this talk is also going to be a general talk. And when I wanted to reflect on a correct personality for this, I thought I will rely on artificial intelligence. So you can see the prompt that I have given for the artificial intelligence talk. There is a software called Stable Diffusion. Okay, it is a web-based software. You can also try it. And this is the prompt that I have given for the artificial intelligence software. So in meditative state, sitting in lotus position inside electronic circuits. So it has given me it has generated an image and given me, and you can see that that particular picture is it's not exactly a human being, and it is not exactly an animal or a bird. It is a completely different being, and it is sitting inside the electronic network, and it is something that I wanted to convey exactly. So first, I would like to express my gratitude, and then I would like to tell you the contents of this talk and give you a brief background about myself. So I am deeply grateful to Dr. Prashant for the invitation and happy to join this Bioclues organization. And thanks to Ms. Indrani for her excellent organizational coordination and her patience. And she has been very patient over the past few days. And this talk is a generalized talk, and it is more of a philosophical discourse on the artificial intelligence in biology with Indian context or with a Eastern philosophical context. Now, I am a beginner in artificial intelligence, so I have just started. Actually, I learned bioinformatics as a diploma course way back in 2003. And at that time, I thought I was the best student. But unfortunately, the system has magnified so much. And especially after listening to Dr. Prashant's talk at our university a few months back, I am completely silenced and humbled by the kind of advancements that have been happening in artificial intelligence, particularly with relation to its applications in biology. So that is the reason that today I am delivering a general talk rather than my work done so far. So here I am just giving a AI prompt for myself to mention my work on aflatoxin and cytology. So just to show that I have been doing some work in this area also. We have a few PhD students of mine who are working on bioinformatics. They use bioinformatics to identify the molecules which can fight, which have an anti-aflatoxin effect. Aflatoxin is a toxin generated by a fungi, and that is responsible for contamination of food products, particularly among children. And this particular work they are doing. And there is also a collaborative work that I am carrying out with Multimedia University in Malaysia on digital cytology. So with that brief background, let me just go ahead to my talk. And please feel free to stop me at any moment for asking any clarifications. So this is an overview of artificial intelligence for bio applications. So I have tried to classify it. This is a table that I have drawn, and I've tried to classify it as generally we say that artificial intelligence is used in drug discovery, it is used in disease diagnosis, it is used in genomics, and it is used for ecological applications. So for understanding the environment in a better way. So metagenomics we say. But we have moved on from that particular area. Now we have come to emergent areas. So what are the emergent areas? The emergent areas are synthetic biology and precision agriculture, where you are able to control the minute micronutrients and the macronutrients, how you can supply it to the soil, how you can supply it to the plant, and how you can grow the plant without the soil also. So that is precision agriculture. Human augmentation. So human augmentation at the genetic level. So that is also one big application of artificial intelligence and bio. And ethics and regulation. So this is going to be a very big issue, ethics and regulation. So that is the emergent area. And then some new terms that we are coming across. Okay. So what are they? They are genetic circuits. So what we previously knew as metabolic engineering, which is an offshoot of, which was an offshoot of genetic engineering. And then you come to metabolic engineering. Now we are talking about genetic circuits. And towards the end of my talk, I will be showing a few slides from a very good book that I read on this topic. And another term is evolutionary electronics. So what I want to say is, I think these are new terms, but fortunately or unfortunately, I do not know how outdated we are. We ourselves, we don't know how outdated we are with respect to knowledge. Because when I came across these very, very new terms, I saw that it has been published in a book by MIT way back in 2008. So it is some of the terms that we are coming across different spheres of this planet are quite different. Then there is the omics and digital image analysis. So these are some new terms. Now, if we come from the back, artificial intelligence, then emergent areas, new terms, then we have what is called some areas which are completely going overboard. So what are the recent applications of artificial intelligence? We will be completely surprised to see Xenobot. So I have a slide on it, which I will show you in detail, Xenobot. Then we have microfluidic chips, and we have a microbiome evaluation. So here I have asked you, will we get to choose our microbial planet cohabitants? Because once we understand the microbiome, once we are able to manipulate the microbiome, then we can decide what microorganisms can survive in this planet or not. We will have an effective control over the kind of microbiome, both within our bodies and outside in the environment. And then we have this bioprinting. So these are some overboard areas which are completely off the what you call the off the rocker. So this is an overview of the different applications of artificial intelligence and biosciences, particularly with relation to animal biotechnology, medical biotechnology, industrial biotechnology, and agriculture. So we are now working in artificial intelligence and agriculture also at our university. And I can tell you that, the applications are far exceeding whatever we try to imagine or whatever we try to expect. The applications are far reaching out. So in agriculture, for example, you can monitor the soil and crop health. I mean, scientists have been monitoring soil and crop health for many, many years. But the level with which we can control these things, and especially it becomes important when you are able to connect these monitoring systems to machinery, which will in turn affect the regulation of these parameters. So that is more interesting. So artificial intelligence goes into machine learning, and machine learning goes into big data, and big data goes into what you call the Internet of Things. So it is all merged now. So you can see that there are three major wings here: smart decision making, research and data analysis, reduction in human error. So these are the major portions. These are the top 10 biotechnology trends and innovations in 2023 with relation to artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence, big data, gene editing, precision medicine, gene sequencing, biomanufacturing. So with the advancements of biomaterials, it is going to be biomanufacturing, synthetic biology, bioprinting, microfluidics, and tissue engineering. So just a quick checkup here. Madam, am I still audible and there is no issue with the videos, right? Thank you, madam. So, so this is the slide I promised that I will show on xenobots. Most of you would have seen this. The video is even more interesting. Please put up your YouTube or whatever video platform that you use for watching the online video. And please type in xenobot. You will be able to see a very, very interesting thing that questions our fundamental nature of existence. So these are, really not like living organisms. These are actually what they call robots made from biological material, and they behave in exactly the same way. I will put it in a different perspective. A few years ago, I mean, for the past several years, when I teach biology to students at the basic level, biology for engineers is a very basic course that we teach. In that course, I ask the students, how do you know that you are alive? What is the proof that you are alive? What is the difference between you and a machine? Then the students will say several things, and finally I will think I am very, very clever and I am very, very great, and I will say that, do you know, you are the only people who can replicate yourselves, and machines cannot replicate. So if I put a pen there, and even after 100 years I come, then the pen will be still there as one pen, but a human being would have reproduced many generations over. So this is the only possible with biological organisms. So that is the unique trait of biology, and that means that you are alive. So this was what I used to say. But after reading this and coming across this news by Tufts University, along with the WIS Institute of Regenerative Medicine, when you see this development, that we are now going to question the fundamental nature of our existence itself. Because here you have artificial intelligence, here you have biomaterials, and here you have interaction with the environment. So it is a new form of organism that is used for several applications, but it is simply too amazing to overlook. And this, I think, will be a revolutionary thing since CRISPR. So now I will move to some basic questions for all of you. So I request the esteemed members of this particular conference to pay attention. And the picture on the right side that you see, I mean, it is to my right.
Is there any problem? Okay, okay. Yeah, sure.
Okay. Um, Now I will continue my talk, and let me just give a brief recap of whatever I said. I do not exactly remember when I got cut off, and I would like to express my sincere apologies to any all the delegates of this conference for my network error. Now let me see it moves. Yes. Okay. So am I audible, madam, and visible? The presentation is
Yes.
visible. Everything is fine. Okay. Let me
Just
quickly
check.
go through
Yes.
whatever I have been through so far. So this is a talk on artificial intelligence and biology, a different perspective, particularly with reference to Eastern philosophical discourses. And this picture has been generated by an artificial intelligence software called Stable Diffusion. And I would like to express my gratitude to Dr. Prashant and to Ms. Indrani. And this is a generalized talk, and I'm a beginner in artificial intelligence who has just begun to apply the artificial intelligence applications in my research work. And this was an overview of bio applications. I think till this everybody was listening. And these also I told what are the different applications of artificial intelligence in bios, particularly with reference to biological research or in biotechnology to be very specific. These are the top 10 biotechnology trends and innovations. And this was the Xenobot that I told. And may I please know if this particular slide was presented, ma'am, in its entirety, or it is where I was.
Yes, we were here. We were here.
Okay. So this was completed. And so now we come to the different definitions of intelligence as we know, or as we currently have an understanding of intelligence. So you see there is artificial intelligence, machine learning, neural network, deep learning, and natural intelligence. So this is a overview of that. And the different definitions, how we are currently defining intelligence is the ability to acquire and apply knowledge and skills. But what I would really request all the esteemed delegates to focus on is the definition of smart materials or sentience. So smart materials we define as materials and products capable of relatively complex behavior due to incorporation of nanocomputers and nanomachines. So this is almost like saying that it is a fully aware material which is having some intelligence of its own and it is taking decisions and conforming. So this is also a form of intelligence, and we exactly cannot say, especially after the advent of xenobots, whether this is a form of artificial intelligence or natural intelligence, particularly because the material that you are making, this particular material, is also organic in nature. Then what is the difference between the natural intelligence and the artificial intelligence? So do we come at a border point where we say that intelligence cannot be artificial or natural? It has to be measured, or it has to be regulated, or it has to be scaled. So that is a very big question, particularly with reference to the third definition, which is sentience. So sentience quotient concept was actually proposed, and it is a relationship between the information processing rate of each individual processing unit, the weight or size of a single unit, and the total number of processing units. So this definition was given way back in 1970. So now I would like to bring your attention to this particular cell. And I do not know if an interactive session can be held in this particular forum, but I would like to know your viewer views on this. As we are all biologists, or most of us are interested in biological applications, and that is why we are all here in Bioclues, which is a very large forum for bioinformatics. Where is the intelligent part in this particular cell? This is a picture of a biological cell. And can anybody tell which is the most intelligent part in this cell?
I think all the parts are intelligent enough. But DNA, DNA.
Okay, very good. So we are saying that DNA is the most intelligent part. So I can agree with that. Are there any other views? Okay, thank you. So the thing is, now what I would like to say is that if we say DNA is intelligent, then it is just a bunch of collection of what you call amino acids and phosphate and sugar molecules, and they are all brilliantly arranged together, and they are not exactly. I do not know if we can call them intelligent because information is encoded in them. So just like information is encoded in a hard disk, information is encoded in them, and then it is how that information is transcribed and translated and expressed as a protein. Then once the protein is expressed only, we can say some output is there, some intelligent factor is there. So where do we call it as intelligence? Do we say transcription is an intelligent process, or translation is an intelligent process, or the DNA is the intelligent one? So how do we find out where is the intelligent quotient here? So how do we measure the intelligence of a particular cell? And this cell is the fundamental unit of biology. So this is the question I want to put in this forum, that whether it is possible to actually say that the entire cell is an intelligent unit, or a particular part of that cell is actually responsible for the intelligence. So at the outset, with the information available with us at present, we can comfortably say, and it is correct also, that the DNA is the most intelligent part of the cell. So that is the limit of our knowledge at the present state. So maybe tomorrow or 10 years from now, some other information will be available to us. So in the process of evolution, natural evolution, nature has actually understood this much longer before. And we are actually trying, today we are saying that this part of the cell is intelligent or this part of the cell is intelligent. But in the process of evolution, you can see that most of the biological systems are multicellular in nature. And they are not unicellular. Most of them are multicellular, at least the most visible ones. The most successful organisms are multicellular in nature. And they are composed of many copies of a fundamental unit, the cell. And this interaction between the cells influences their rate. And so we are now talking about swarm behavior. So most of the professors who have given a talk here about artificial intelligence, convolutional neural networks, and deep learning. So these professors will be aware that, one unit, when it tries to interact with another unit, it is extremely complex, particularly when it comes to multiple variables interacting with them. So here, the evolutionary model of studying a cellular system will be very, very useful. So a cellular system can be used as a tool for understanding synthetic universes. So if you want to run a simulation, not only for biology, for a computer application if you want. So this is called bio-inspired computing or bio-inspired engineering. So where you can actually use the cellular system as a model to understand some very, very complicated networks. So models and simulators of simple and complex biological, natural, and physical systems and phenomena, computational engines can actually be developed based on this cellular system. So this is some structure and pattern, and this is a slide that I have picked from MIT's book. Okay, the book that I have told you was, I have referred the source here. Please look at the bottom of this particular slide if it is visible for you. It is called Bio-Inspired Artificial Intelligence. It is a book published in the year 2008 by MIT, and it is a very, very good book. And in that book, they have told that these structures and patterns which are found in biological systems can actually be used for developing computational tools. So I want to say cite one sloka here from our Indian system, from the Natya Shastra. Yato hasta tatho drishti tato manaha. Yato manaha tato bhava, yatho bhava tatha rasa. So one proceeds to the next. So in the example where I asked you, which is the most intelligent part of the cell, we cannot say that this is my humble. We may not be able to say that one particular part of the cell is more intelligent, but we say that the DNA is there, then the process of transcription. As the transcription is there, then the process of translation. As the process of translation is there, then the process of expression. So that leads to protein synthesis. So in that way, the collective intelligence or the collective formation leads to a beautiful synchrony, which leads to what you call the development of a multicellular system, which leads to interaction in an intelligent way. So synchronicity and cooperation between systems in a uniform manner is something that we can define as intelligence. So now the real question, are we ready to accept certain things which are not looking biological as living beings? Say for example, this is a machine which is called as the IDX-DR, and it is from Digital Diagnostics Company in USA, and it is a diagnostic system that can autonomously diagnose patients for diabetic retinopathy. And this particular machine is one of the first machines to be approved by the Food and Drug Administration, particularly with reference to the approval for artificial intelligence based equipments or for artificial intelligence based biological application equipments or software or whatever it is. So here we talk about regulation also. Now artificial intelligence has to be regulated. And this is one of the first set of commercial applications which are coming out as a regulated product. So that is the Food and Drug Administration of USA has approved this. So this, are we ready to accept these particular machines as the next doctor or the laboratory technicians? That is the one question. Now, this is a software by the company DNA Nexus, and they have two models. One is for Apollo and the other is for Titan. Apollo is a cloud-based informatics environment for pharmaceutical target delivery, and Titan is a cloud-based informatics environment which removes the in-between bottlenecks for bioinformatics analysis. So both these systems are now approved by Food and Drug Administration, and they are both powered by proprietary AI engines, so artificial AI engines. And these are currently being used by most of the leading pharmaceutical agencies now. So it has already started. So just a comparative analysis of our biological neuronal network and the artificial neuronal network. So this is to show you how the engineering world is actually mimicking the biological world. So this equation that you see on the right side is actually inspired from the synaptic network of the biological system. So that is what I would like to show here. So some other applications we have, the artificial nose, which is well known to us. And our sense of smell is very, very limited. But the kind of chemicals, the kind of biosensors that are now coming up, especially with the support of artificial intelligence, is very, very high. So here you have some of the early applications of neuronal networks, and how neuronal networks were actually inspired to make synaptic connections in the real world electronic applications. So if you once you start reading into this, it is very, very interesting. So these are hybrid neuronal systems with multi-electrode arrays. So these are also, and here you can see in the right side in the screen, you can see a neuronal controlled animation in virtual environment. So we can actually generate entire universes inside the computer using artificial intelligence if you give them basic rules. And these simulations that you run on the system can actually solve problems which you give it to them. So then what happens is they are intelligent enough to solve the problems that you give. They actually create an environment inside the artificial system that you give them. And in that environment, they put the problem and they will solve it, and you get a solution, okay, how they are solving. So here, which is intelligent, which is alive, which is not alive is a very big question. So this is another field effect transistor. This is another example of hybrid neuronal systems. And this is used for monitoring the biological neural communications. So with this, I would like to conclude my talk with another one very, very important sloka, because we are looking for intelligence everywhere. We are looking for intelligence in the cell. We are looking for intelligence in the computer, in the software. We are looking for artificial intelligence, natural intelligence, hybrid intelligence, networked intelligence. But the thing is, this particular sloka is in Tamil. I will read it out to everybody now with your permission. So it is a sloka given by one of the Siddhars, one of the 18 Siddhars of Lord Shiva. He is called Shivakyar Siddhar. He lived very long ago. He has written, Odi, 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 Utkalanda Jodiye, Nadi, 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 Natkalum Kalindu Boy, Vadi, 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 Vadi Pona Mandargal, Kodi, 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 Eniranda Kodiye, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. So what it means is everybody is running around looking for intelligence, intelligence, intelligence. But the real intelligence is actually completely inside. This is what was the level reached at that particular point, at the cellular level. If you look at the Indian temples, the ancient Indian Hindu temples, you will see a double coiled structure. And you will see the same thing in the Greek temples also, that the seat of intelligence probably lies in the DNA. And this is from where the intelligence sprouts. So in this sloka also I told, one consequence leads to the other. So that is the focus that we may be focusing on. That is the kind of solution that our ancients are being telling us. When we are developing these systems, we must develop these systems in a networked format so that it is completely having the applications. So with that, I also welcome you to our Department of Biotechnology, at Whale Tech University. And I want to thank everybody, every one of you for your patient listening, and particularly with regards to my network problems. And thank you very much. And it was a wonderful talking to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for taking the pain. And yes, I hope everyone has enjoyed your talk so much, because it is indeed now to bring the gap, to bridge the gap, how translational systems are working and how the traditional biology has been present in our ancestral generation. We have forgot all these values, but at the end of the day, we will find out like there is something which is related to our traditional life science life system, which we have forgotten a long years back, but that has been that has been staying in touch with us, but we barely recognize it. That is very like indeed, and we all have enjoyed your talk. Thank you so much. And yes, it is completely fine, sir. Everyone will face network issues. That's not at all an issue. So with as a token of love, sir, like we would like to have a photo session with you, sir. Lovely moment. To capture this lovely moment, we want to have a photo session with you all. So I request all the participants to switch on your webcam, and we'll have a photo with sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. So moving on to our next session. So we have our next speaker, Dr. K. Manoj.